Hey guys, Bisk here. I wanted to talk to you today about some psychology. I know a lot of you guys might not be used to these kind of topics, but I wanted to try and spread a little bit of knowledge, things that might help people out in their daily lives. So today I wanted to talk to you about introversion and extroversion and the lesser known links with social anxiety. So a lot of people think that introversion is a case of a person disliking social interaction, and an extrovert is somebody who really enjoys social interaction. And while these stereotypes do play out quite naturally, and so it makes sense that people would perceive them this way, this isn't actually the case. So an extrovert is simply a person who contains more dopamine receptors in the brain, which simply means that these people are less sensitive to dopamine. They need more in order to feel the same reaction that an introvert does. So when it comes to social interaction, an extrovert requires more input, more mental stimulation, more conversation to feel socially fulfilled. Therefore, they seek out more. An introvert is quite content with just a little bit of social interaction that fills their need. And so they are more comfortable, in general, spending time alone. They enjoy their alone time, which is absolutely fine. The problem is that a lot of people misunderstand the portrayal of introversion and see it as a person who struggles to socially interact, a person who is generally perceived as quiet, shy, awkward maybe, somebody who is very emotionally or mentally drained after social interaction. And this can be true. If an introvert experiences too much social interaction, then they would absolutely be drained. However, these other problems, or these other characteristics, being quiet, being shy, or awkward, these are often actually signs of social anxiety. And it is completely possible for an extrovert to also have social anxiety. Feeling mentally drained after a social interaction may not be introversion, and a lot of people will come home after a social interaction, sit down, think, I'm really tired, I must be an introvert, I don't really need much social interaction because that has tired me out. And that's not necessarily true. The tiredness could come from the constant battle with anxiety, even low levels of anxiety that the body isn't noticing, the brain will pick up on. And so the problem that lies here is that a lot, or maybe not even a lot, the problem is that there are in the world extroverts who, through misunderstanding the link between introversion and social anxiety, have mislabeled themselves as introverts. And I find this personally to be quite sad, because it means that there are people in the world who are not getting what they need to feel socially fulfilled because they're misunderstanding themselves. And so I wanted to give everybody who watches me just a little time to think, question how you feel about people, how you feel about social interaction. And I think one of the easiest questions you can ask yourself to determine, am I an introvert or an extrovert, is, on a given day, would I rather spend an evening reading a book or playing a game alone, or would I rather spend that time still reading a book, still playing a game, but in the same room as somebody who is not interacting with me? Do I feel comfortable in the presence of somebody who does not expect social engagement? A best friend, somebody that you're really close to, would you rather be with that person, not talking, not engaging, just side by side, or would you rather be alone? Because an introvert will generally, and this is a spectrum, but an introvert will generally value that private time more. They will require more of that. Whereas an extrovert would generally be either more comfortable to sit and do their daily activities with the background presence of another human, or may even, if you're a high-level extrovert, be uncomfortable alone. You may need that extra mental stimulation of the vibe of another person in the room to feel complete. And so I think if you examine this a little bit, look at yourselves, you can reevaluate what you think about yourself. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Are you a little bit of both? Does it fluctuate depending on how you're feeling? And are you misreading any symptoms of social anxiety as extrovert, as introversion even? So yeah, I have personally struggled with this myself. For a long time, I thought I was an introvert because I could not talk to people at all. I couldn't, in social situations, I couldn't physically make myself speak. And I thought that meant I was an introvert. I couldn't be more wrong. I am the biggest extrovert in my family, in my wider family, among my friends. I am the extrovert. I almost constantly need social interaction. I heavily dislike being alone. And I think that the first step towards being comfortable with yourself is understanding yourself. If you are an introvert, truly an introvert, then that is fine. That is wonderful. Introverts are some of the most wonderful people ever. You just require a little bit more space, is all. You're still a great friend. You're still an exciting, interesting person. You just need a little bit of space. And if you're an extrovert, that's great too. There are a lot of amazing extroverts out there as well. Whatever you are is okay. You don't have to be any different. All that you need to do is understand who you are. I hope that this has been informative, helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll get back to them. I love you all. Have an amazing day. Thank you.